I am transparent.
You're not very good at feigning anything.
Yeah, don't ask this punk ass kid to lie. He's not good at it.
With the worst poker face imaginable.
Cutting out his tongue is a real option sometimes.
Yeah,
I've done
you could
it.
regrow it.
In the vein of what vampires can and cannot do, we shall get back to the dingy office of the Scarlet Lounge. There's a little printer, electronic typewriter, some filing cabinets, and a bunch of costumes in boxes. There is also a desk with a couple of those stackable chairs in the corner that you can peel off a few of those for everybody to sit down. You find them a lot in theaters. But sitting at the desk, Fox is probably leaning against the wall behind Candy. And
That's
then
right.
at the desk, we begin our game. Everybody spaced out for a moment. Not sure what that was.
All right. Where were we?
I believe we left off just having begun discussing us being here.
They introduced themselves, and we were discussing the fact that several vampires come here to feed, but most of them pay their way.
As I said, I am happy to pay my way to assist you all in anything that you would ask me to.
Kid, what have you gone through to be so magnanimous? I appreciate it. It's really sweet, but did you get kicked out of your clan, or
Hard to get kicked out of something that you don't ever have.
Oh, they're caitiff, boss.
Oh, that's making a bit more sense.
What
Hmm.
the hell is a caitiff?
so you know when your dad says he's going out to get cigarettes and milk?
Yeah.
It's the vampire equivalent of that. We don't know who made you unless you do, and I'm assuming you don't.
No,
Hmm.
I can't recall.
Yeah.
I thought
It,
caitiff was just vampires that have been so many vampires that they're not flavored anymore.
Little column A, little column B, but with Matt here,
Hmm.
we could figure out where he came from even without knowing exactly who his sire was.
if I may, I think the term has been given two meanings. One, a more political sense, and one, how strong the blood flows in their veins.
Politics, politics.
I never knew my sire, but I will say I have always gotten along quite well with toreadors.
That does track. Candy will eye you up and down again and nod to herself.
Sorry, what the hell is a toreador?
One of the
Uh,
13 clans.
I'm gonna pretend like I know what that means.
It's like dog breeds. We all get one when we come out, unless you're too. There's generations. The older your generation, the better. And when you get down to like now, there's a chance that you turned and you don't even become fully
A mutt.
vampire.
Let's save vampire history for the second night, but for tonight, what do you remember about the
I
person
thought
who
that was my
embraced you?
connection.
It was just at my workplace. I saw her around a few times. She ordered some stuff, never really drank it. She was just by herself for the most part. Eventually, I went up and talked to her. We had a good conversation. One thing led to another. Back at my apartment, then I woke up in a closet and tore my neighbor apart.
Tale as old as time,
Hmm.
friend.
Do you mind giving me a couple more specific details? Color of her hair,
Uh,
eyes, clothing?
yeah, she always had this beanie on. I don't know why. It's not really cold over by my work. I guess maybe if it rains, I don't know. Coat, maybe like a hoodie. I don't know. It was hard to remember. Sorry, my memory's a little foggy of the past few days. Her hair, it was brown. It went down to her shoulders, and her eyes, they were a very light brown. She wasn't pale like you, actually. And he points at Dimikova's blush of life. I don't even know
Yeah.
her name.
Understood. Just to summarize, always wore a beanie, brown shoulder length hair, light brown eyes, never looked pale.
Every time I saw her, she looked bright and healthy.
Taller or
So she
shorter?
fed regularly.
I guess she always had this like green hoodie on, just casual outfits that you would wear. Nothing really special.
Any accent that you recall? Any
Not really. She sounded
SoCal?
like she was a local, just someone I hadn't seen before.
Okay. That's very helpful. Thank you, Jackson. I am not trying to get them caught or anything. That's outside my purview. I just want this information in case I hear about them or knew them. I think it's almost criminal. I mean, it is. It's criminal what sires do to their children, abandoning them.
Does this description match anyone I've heard of?
Doesn't sound like anybody that you know. The girls who come in here aren't typically wearing casual wear, much less beanies. And the gentlemen, there is a bit of a dress code.
Great. Thank God, finally. I can afford to have one.
I have some friends that I could inquire discreetly, see if anyone knows who that is. It seems unlikely that they would have just left you there if they were part of the Ivory Tower. I know you're going to ask what that is. That's one of the factions, just another name for the Camarilla.
Right.
Matt says.
Sandy is going to sigh deeply and go, no, we need to take both of you to Orin first if you're going to be in our territory, if you're planning on moving in.
That's your local Baron?
That's the
Yeah.
one.
Totally understood.
Yeah, I'm not even gonna ask.
Shall we do that tomorrow night?
Absolutely.
I mean, I'm ready to go now, of course, but Jackson has had a bit of a night. I think he could use with a little bit of time to compose himself.
I would appreciate that.
You're basically a newborn. Just get your sea legs under it. It's going to be fun.
What might one do to earn a right to feed and to haven, perhaps here or nearby in your territory? Normally, I would
Final-
secure my own.
Fox looks to Candy because I don't know if we've discussed this.
This is your first client.
Yeah.
Wanted people to feed here, and now we actually have to have things we want from them. This is cool as fuck. Candy will purse her lips for a moment. You help our establishments. We are small business owners here, and we need advertisement. We need dancers. We need people who are talking about our businesses and spreading it to friends and people that you know.
Wow, Candy, that's a good idea.
Perhaps I might be able to find a way to put some word out, get some mortals. What would you say is the selling point, as it were? What would you like the image to be presented? Classy, there's dive bars. How do you want the people to see?
Under new management, Matt offers up from the corner of the room where he's kicking a balled up piece of paper around.
Matt, you're part of us. Get over here, please.
I think underground exotic is the vibe.
Very much, yeah. Somewhere someone with too much money could go to have a time that they don't talk about with their friends tomorrow.
All right, so wealthier, upper class, perhaps.
Discreet.
Hmm.
We can do discreet, right? I look to the others.
Candy will nod and some glitter will fall out of her hair.
Why don't I work with what you've given me, see if I can increase your traffic a little bit over the next few nights? In a week's time, you can see if my help has been worth what you offer.
This one, Candy will say, throwing a thumb back to Fox. What do you need? Drunk college kids, mostly? Bikers?
Pretty much. Tattoos are pretty good art, but not everyone wants to commit to that sort of thing. Makes for some good synergy. Get drunk over here, go get some art across the street.
Absolutely.
There's a whole market for college kids who have just hit 21. I can work with that.
Excellent. I also have started working with Kindred for tattoos. He rolls up his sleeve and there is a small but beautifully displayed fiery bird just below his bicep after the curve on his forearm. This one is new, as in I didn't have it before I got, you know.
You have a way to make it not simply fall out the next night.
I did this half a week ago.
Candy's eyebrow will raise.
It's small, but decent. I look to Jackson and say, this is the sort of thing that doesn't usually stick. If I were to just traditionally give a kindred a tattoo, or someone gives a haircut, someone arm lopped off, your body changes back.
I'm stuck like this.
Yes.
Perhaps not. Apparently,
Hmm.
tattoos are now on the table.
There's a lot of things that are on the table once you start getting imaginative.
Matt rubs his maybe day and a half long stubble on his face and says, "Yeah, you got to be careful how you die."
Ah,
The things they don't
Luckily-
tell you.
Luckily, Jackson did die on a date night.
I did, so I look kind of nice. At least.
Candy will reach out for a high five.
Yeah, he'll return it, I guess. Just very shyly.
She will smile brightly.
There's going to be some things that you'll need to learn: how to hunt, how to sleep and protect yourself. But for tonight, is there a place he can rest? A haven?
We
I'm
got
happy
rooms
to share it
upstairs.
with him.
Oh yeah, we got rooms upstairs.
We have no idea what his bait is. So this could be fucking dangerous.
Bane? What Bane?
There's some
Uh.
clans that specifically need to sleep in certain places.
Oh.
Yeah.
I'm
Ah,
sure we'll find out. One night shouldn't be life or death.
No,
I'll
just
take responsibility.
Candy will look you up and down and go, okay, if that's the position you want to take, then sure, yeah, absolutely.
Seems like something I can do to not bring trouble to your doorstep.
Trouble seems to find us, darling. It's made its way here a few times.
It is a few hours still, at least, until dawn. But Jackson, it's been a long night. Unless anybody else had anything that they wanted to do with the rest of the evening.
First night introduction to vampirism.
We go over some of the basics.
The things we
Just
missed
like
with
the-
Matt.
Turns out he can eat, so we don't have to worry about the blood vomit.
Darla's not gonna have to clean that up and
Yay.
I think they still vomit it up, don't they?
I mean, they can
They do.
control when it does. Matt was handed a shot and put it back without anyone telling him, then vomited blood all over the bar.
Yeah, what else would y'all consider need to know information?
Fun times.
Sun bad.
I was kind of
unless
gonna do something if no one told me about that. You're lucky.
crosses don't matter unless.
This is a specific flavor that it hurts.
What?
Clam. Sorry.
Sunlight will destroy you, fire will destroy you. Everything else, not so much unless your head is taken off.
Avoid stakes.
And a steak will not kill you, but it will paralyze you.
What's wrong with beef?
Wooden steak.
Oh,
Have you never seen any vampire movies or books?
I had a friend who was really into D&D in college.
But like
So that's a
Dracula,
no,
the
then.
movie?
No.
Nosferatu?
Interview with
Ah,
a vampire?
wow.
Who doesn't know about Nosferatu?
I didn't realize there were still unicorns in the world.
There are
That
unicorns?
looks in amazement.
No, it was a joke.
Okay,
Oh.
you're gonna need to be really specific because vampires.
You are the
werewolves-
unicorn that has never heard of vampires before or hasn't read anything about them. They're in popular media all over.
I don't get much time to read media when I'm waiting tables.
I
Trying to
see.
support
Well,
a family.
here's another important thing, and I think this is very important. Who is close to you? Friends, family, because your name is known. If you go to them and try to stay connected, you'll put them in danger. It's better for them if you disappear for now, with the police looking for you and others looking for
You saw the guy I was talking to at my work. He knows that something's up, but I mean, he said he'd keep quiet. My dad and my sister, they I haven't talked to them recently. They might call me soon.
It's okay. What are their names? Do you
Ah,
remember their phone numbers? I can have someone reach out to them to try to keep them from panicking.
my brain's a little bit of a mess right now. My father's name's Kyle, and I'll give him the phone number. And my sister's Jessica, and I'll give the phone number.
Nico doesn't even write it down, he just memorizes it, locks it in. I'll arrange something. I just want to make sure that they're safe, and I'll let you know.
Oh, speaking of things to let people know, this cop was asking to see my teeth.
What?
This cop, he found me in the dumpster after I fell because he scared the hell out of me. He asked to see my teeth and was talking about a code LSAT.
Ah, I
Hmm.
think I get what's going on.
That
said
is
that.
something.
So remember what I told you about the Masquerade?
The
The most
thing
important law? Yes.
mentioned like for 30 seconds, yeah.
And I emphasized it was the most important thing tonight if you remember nothing else.
I still don't know what it is. You just said I have to uphold it.
Oh, don't let people know vampires are real.
Yes, that. It's very important. The reason why vampires aren't found out is there are people that cover it up. There are people in the police, in the government, in regular everyday businesses sometimes who help uphold this masquerade. They're not all like us. From what you just described, that was someone who was part of whoever is in charge of keeping the masquerade, part of their people. I could be wrong, but makes sense. Elstat, Lestat, asking to see your teeth.
It could have been that cop from the hospital, Candy.
That's unfortunately what I was thinking.
You didn't happen to get the officer's name or badge number by chance.
He had a flashlight in your face and it was dark. You didn't catch the name.
No, I kicked the dumpster at him, but that was it.
Thankfully, not too much of a masquerade breach if he's in the know.
It's a cop asking about
But-
vampires. It's a campy.
But it's a good thing you didn't go with him. You probably would be either dead or on trial.
Okay.
Yeah, they're real big about the whole sins of the father thing.
Sounds like it.
You're on
Jesus
the other
Christ.
side of the river. Oh, the geography of town, that's probably very important.
Oh my god, yes, the baronies and the
Yeah. He said something about across the border, and then I yelled at him, we're just over a river, and he didn't really elaborate.
Or in an overlap that is both Bishop Zyrup's holdings and the barony of Orencast.
You guys mentioned Oren, right?
yes. Specifically have not mentioned
Yep.
Zyra.
Mentioning Zyra, can I roll something to discreetly whisper a question to Candy?
Oh god, Bat.
I think my obfuscate kind of instinctually kicks in a little bit. Matt does turn a little less opaque, trying to be sneaky. Should we tell them about the blood hunt? It seems dangerous for them not to know we're at open war at the moment.
Is
No.
there like an awareness test if they make a second whisper?
Your passives pick it up. Jackson, you picked up heightened senses. You find at this moment, as you're trying to listen in to something not easy to normally hear, you feel the whole room get more vivid. Everything's in hyper detail. You can feel every thread in your shirt, and your hearing cranks up. You can hear music from the other room that's almost overbearing, even through this wall. But over it, you can still hear the whisper. Should we share the news about the blood hunt? It's dangerous for them to not know that we're at open war.
I can assume, having not been prepared for this, all of a sudden, every one of his senses is just, oh yeah, it was here, now it's all the way up here. He immediately cringes and points away. Oh, fuck up! And he clasps his hand over his ears.
Jackson, are you all right?
You all right, buddy?
Oh, someone was listening, weren't you?
Listening to what? I don't know. I can feel my shirt. Why can I feel everything in my shirt?
You're okay. It's gonna be okay. You were focusing really hard on using your senses.
What the hell is a blood hunt?
Blood hunt.
Matt
Hmm.
shrugs to the camera.
They said something about a blood hunt and war. Ah, my ears.
Miko arches an eyebrow.
With a small effort of will and wanting the loudness and the hypertexture and the overstimulation to go away, closing your eyes for a few seconds, you open and everything dulls back down again.
Fuck. I don't like that.
It's really only useful in the dark.
Auspex.
There are times when that could probably come in really handy, but there's other stuff that we can do. You'll learn how to get a good handle on it and learn how to do more with it. It's a bit much at the start there. So, yeah, blood hunt.
Yes, I was about to ask. I want to explore that, Jackson, but blood hunt is rather
Yeah.
important.
The Baron called a blood hunt on Sabbat interlopers who were pushing tilts his head side to side, figuring out the words, a vitae-based drug through the area.
Interesting. Which Baron? Orin?
Yeah, Orin. The Sabbat hold on the area has been weakened for the moment. Glances over to Candy and kind of shrugs.
It is worth noting that Bishop Zyra herself is Sabbat.
A blood hunt, really? I thought that was only done on individuals. Isn't it
They're
just called a
kidnapping
war?
people
Yeah.
in mass and turning them into vampires and feeding them to werewolves. Matt says, looking down at the ground. That's not good either.
They're doing the shovelhead embracing.
Yeah, there were a few things going on and overlapping that were caused to
And
step up a little bit.
they have been doing that quite a lot recently. It's been ramping up in the past few years, from what I've heard. But,
D'Amico, blood hunt
yeah.
is a Camarilla term. Anarchs
Yeah,
don't really do it.
interesting. The Baron said blood hunt. Interesting. Well, I'm sure it'll be something that the Baron will mention to us if we are accepted into his domain.
Look nice, act
Ish.
nice, promise not to fuck up, don't fuck up, it'll be fine.
Everything that the Ivory Tower expects, but just a Baron instead of Prince.
But you can say shit, piss, and fuck.
Mm.
Yeah, I was scared of Orin Cass at first, Matt says, looking to the new squid. But he's all right. He's a little weird. He's like an 80s rock guy.
That is very accurate.
Not the 80s you're thinking of, but still, it kind of tracks.
Right.
Do you happen to know his stance on Caitiff?
He's dating a caitiff currently, and considering who else is in the area, this is the safest place for you to be.
Fantastic. I'm glad to know that my friend that pointed me in this direction wasn't trying to get me killed. They're the one who also assisted me in getting to Jackson here before the sheriff could find him.
Are we so privileged as to know this person's name?
No offense by this. I think it would be premature to reveal that information. It could potentially put them in danger or yourselves until we're more secure here. Jackson, for all we know, could be traded back to the sheriff, and if he unfortunately finds out who helped him, you understand.
Whoa, you're gonna give me back to them?
No, I'm saying the Baron is the one who will decide our fate. I don't think he would.
We're
Is
just
Orin? Yeah.
introducing you guys to him. You're not going through a trial or anything.
Entering
Well-
a domain is a trial in and of
It's a
itself.
social trial. You're not going to get executed for it.
If Sabbat walked up, they would.
Yes. And put it in this light. What if the sheriff were to send an envoy to the Baron saying, there's someone that we want returned to us. They were created in this domain, so they belong technically to the camp in their eyes. I don't believe that. I think that's a load of shit. But I don't want to create a political incident where whoever helped me help them gets in trouble for it. Does that make sense?
No, not really. Why don't we just keep moving then? Leave.
Because you are not ready to be traveling.
I'm not
Could be
ready to
far
get
more.
executed for existing.
But yeah, this is
Fig-
as far away as you can get and still be safe. This is a fairly safe place for you. We're all willing to pay your way because you're new.
No one's sending you anywhere you're gonna get killed. This side of the river, pretty lax about most of the clenched butthole rules. So it's fine. We're just introducing you to the guy who looks over this area. He's pretty chill.
Basically, if he finds out that you're here and he didn't get to meet you, he'd be pissed.
Yes. Way
Yeah.
more bad, if not go.
Let me just say this also. I will tell you who helped eventually once this is a little bit more in the rear view. I just want to keep that private for the time being.
Till they're out of the splash zone.
I will hold you to
Yes.
that.
Thank you for understanding.
Other need to know information.
We went over the borders, sun, state, fire.
You don't have
The
to kill
beast.
somebody when you
Frenzy.
meet them.
Frenzy. Yes.
Yes.
Do not kill someone.
I don't plan to kill any more people.
It
Well-
just happens sometimes, especially when you don't know what's
Yeah.
going on.
Would you say you were in control of yourself when you killed your neighbor?
If I was in control of myself when I did that, I don't think I would be here right now, because I woke up terrified in an elevator licking a wall full of blood.
Yes, that
Yep, that
is the
tracks.
beast. If I may, every one of us has a beast inside of us. It's different for everyone. Yours might be an instinct, a feeling, perhaps even a voice in your head. It varies from kindred to kindred. You must not indulge or embrace what it tells you. If you do, you'll lose control and end up just like you did in that elevator, licking blood off the wall, having ripped someone apart. If the beast gains control, it can wear your skin, make you do things that you don't want to do, and when you come out of it, it's never good. The more you do that, the more chance you risk of completely losing your mind and your soul, becoming nothing but a shell with the beast inside. So fight the beast. That's my advice, anyways.
This just sounds like a really bad plot to a D&D game. You're all under influence of a beast. What the fuck, guys? You just live like this?
You were the one licking the wall. You were the one licking the wall.
That wasn't my
This
fault.
is not a
That's the point.
Jackson. This is
That's-
not a game.
Fuck, all right. Yeah, I'll keep that in mind.
I understand it's common to seek analogies, references to things that are familiar, but this is your real life now. This is what you're going to deal with night after night for the rest of eternity if you don't die.
At the point when he says there's no references, Fox kind of gives a bit of side eye towards Matt, but then focuses back in.
How can you live like this? Because they have no other choice.
Let's retire, I think. We can cover anything else tomorrow. Give him some time to digest what we've told him.
Then, who's bunking with whom? The rooms upstairs are, of course, occupied.
Matt offers space in his room, but upon going to his room, it's literally just a lazy boy chair in front of a gigantic TV with mattress on the floor in the corner with a pillow. He says, "I'll sleep on the lazy boy. You guys can use the bed."